Hey guys, and welcome yet to another episode of the Sunday discussion on the PH Journals podcast. My name is Dylan Love. I'm a professional hunter out of the Eastern Cape of South Africa. Hunting is my passion, my love, and it's something I feel very strongly about, is that hunting is our best form, our best conservation tool we have possible. Well, if this is your first time joining, I would love it if you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and obviously subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as any one of the other platforms that we have got our hosting on. Guys, it's been a jam-packed season, and it feels like I'm mangling things around here a little bit. Today's discussion, we're going to discuss what's life like after the season for a professional hunter. This was one of the questions that came through from a follower of mine, and I appreciate these sort of things because it leaves us with a bit of topic. Unfortunately, I had a guest lined up for this evening, but he dropped me last minute, but we'll catch up with that a little bit later. So for now, it's all about what the season, what's it like winding down to the end of the season for a professional hunter. But before we get into it, just got to give a big shout out to the following sponsors: Tacticam, Trees and Camo, Splitting Image Taxidermy. I didn't mention these guys in my last podcast. Guys, these guys have been doing incredible work. If you're looking to come out to South Africa, you're looking for a taxidermist, Splitting Image, don't look any further than them. They do some incredible work. So really blessed to have them on board. Black Widow Broadheads, Carbon Core Arrows, Magnum Archery, and Maxxis Tires. Guys, once again, it's been an incredible journey to get to this point. Like I said, I wish I didn't drop the ball when it came to the podcasting during the season, but it was just so busy. But yeah, no excuses now. We're full steam ahead. Like I said, we'll be closing the podcasting season off on the 16th of December. I'll be officially launching my last podcast for the season, and then picking it up once again once we get back from the shows. We've got a lot of information when I get back from there that I could share with you guys. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Well guys, like I mentioned, a question came through probably about a week ago, and it went as follows. Hi PH Journals, I'm a professional hunter out of the Limpopo province in South Africa. I've been professional hunting now. I got my license at the end of 2019, and of course due to COVID, we didn't have any clients last season. Just gonna sift through all the other stuff. I'm finally closing off my first season as a professional hunter. I haven't been fortunate enough to have as many hunts as what you guys had last year, but I would like to know, what is the process for a young professional hunter to close off the season without any income coming in? What do you suggest? Guys, this is an important question, and I'm glad it came up. I was going to address it a little bit later into the podcasting season, but like I said to you, some unforeseen circumstances. But anyway, it really is an important question, and I feel it's important for the youngsters coming through. And I was like I keep saying in a lot of my podcasts, I'm very fortunate to have a lot of the older generation professional hunters coming through the ranks, showing me the range, showing me what to do, giving me some advice, and they've always been a phone call away. And that's what I love so much about social media, is that our interaction with one another is literally a click away. I mean, you either hate it or you love social media, and for these sort of situations, I really enjoy it, because I feel that it just offers a really young professional hunter that's come through the ranks, or that's done his he's done his courses, he's a professional hunter now, has had a couple of clients the first season, and now he wants to know how he handles closing out the rest of the season. Well, my advice is as follows, and it's in no particular order. I'm just going to run through a couple of points that I've highlighted, that I've used in the past. Remember, I've been doing this now. This will be going into my 12th season as a professional hunter, and I feel very fortunate enough to be able to share these pointers with you guys, because I feel it is important preparing for the next season. And I've based this on a very good friend of mine, Just Stretton. I'll never forget that conversation, and I've said it so many times before in the podcast as well, is he said to me, he said, Dylan, 90% of the success of a professional hunter is planning, future planning. Plan every single day that you are out there. And it's led to some of the success that I've had today, and it's been a very, very fortunate lesson that I've learned. And it's something I'll carry on with me, not just in professional hunting, but in life as such, because I've benefited so much from it. Well, first thing is first, what I do is when I've got a gap now, we're winding down, I've got one client each month now, and I know there's a few guys that aren't fortunate enough to have that, but what I would suggest you is spend a lot of time scouting new areas, scouting new properties, having a look, see what else is out there, because you've had a very good feel throughout the season of what certain properties hold for you as far as species and the quality of species as well. You would have hunted those properties, so you would need to have some sort of idea in the back of your mind what sort of management you would need to do for next season, taking out the older guys, the older females or the older males, whatever the case may be. And for that case, scouting becomes a really, really important tool going into the next season. And what it does as well, it's a really important time saver. I remember when I started, I struggled to close hunts early in the week. I struggled, and what I mean by that is that client comes out with a certain package in mind, certain species, and for instance, they throw a curveball in there like a spiraled horned animal that is a little bit tougher to get than your normal plains game. And I struggled to close out enough hunts during the middle of the week, giving me enough time to really go and look and really go and spend a lot of time out there on, your kudus, your nyalas, your bushback, or big quality animals. So that was important. And how I learned to save that time and to manage it correctly was scouting. Because I knew Spot X had really nice blue wildebeest. You could go there was a bachelor herd running there, any one of those bulls you could have shot as a trophy. It was a good management bull, and that just kept the ball rolling. So the next morning I knew, okay, I'm going to Spot X the next morning because I'm going to save myself time in searching the rest of the properties or driving distances or really just putting in the hard work for because you've done it pre-season. So that's an important point. Next up, while scouting, I spent a lot of time in the blinds and not hunting as such. I spent a lot of time studying animal behavior. I would just literally, funny enough, I've just got back from a blind. There's no water there, but there is food, and just studying certain animal behavior. There was an impala coming in, and just the way he reacts to certain things, what he picks up, what noises alert him, how his animal movements are. When you rifle hunt, these are important to understand bush penetration, how the animal is reacting, where the animal is going to go after the hit, what's he feeling at that time, where you need to go, how you're going to track the animal, that sort of stuff, and which direction he's going to shoot off with. When you're bow hunting, you're really close to the ground, so you need to understand your animal. What sort of noises is he going to be alerted to? What sort of reaction is he going to give if he feels that somebody's watching him? And yeah, like I said, I've just got back from a blind. I've been watching the impala for some time now. She saw a little female darker come in as well, and it was nice to get the different interactions between the two animals and really just learn and understand for future references. Is this extremely important? No. But I feel that every animal deserves, if you are hunting a specific animal, it deserves an incredible amount of respect, and trying to understand one another's behaviors or trying to understand species behavior is just a sign of respect that you're giving to that animal, that you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, and you're willing to understand the characteristics that animal holds or that animal gives out when you are hunting it. So yeah, that's that's just one of the more important things, and it leads into the whole scouting scenario. And that's why I believe it's such an important part. You've got ample amount of time now. Go out there and spend the time in the bush. I mean, every day in the bush is a better day in the office. So, just really just go out there and enjoy it, and just take in all the sceneries, take in the birds, do a bit of bird watching, do something like that, just to keep you preoccupied. But remember, you got one focus in mind, and that's to understand animal behavior, scouting, and also your herd management. Next up on the list is contacts. Now, this has been something that I've worked hard on in the past 3 years. And when I say contacts, I mean going out there, meeting with farmers, meeting with certain property owners that that those guys have got a certain species that you are after. It's really, really interesting to see the change of perspective I have when I get thrown a couple of species out there that are the more challenging ones to get, and that you would have to hunt certain amounts of properties. And this effort really showed. My first hunt of the season, my good friend Pat Dugan came out, and he phoned me. He said to me, Dylan, I'm coming out. I'll be landing on the 29th of December. I need an Oroby and I need a blue darker. Now, those of you know that Oroby permits are extremely difficult, especially in the Eastern Cape, to come across. And as well as blue darker spots aren't the easiest, especially in December. I mean, it's the heart of summer. You don't want to be stuck in those forest situations for too long. You can overheat your client. You can overheat yourself, for that matter. And, this is where contacts came in. I said, Pat, I've been working on somebody for some time now. He's a good friend of mine now. We've spent a lot of time together this season down at the coast in Port Alfred. And I managed to get there. He hooked us up with the Oroby permit. He hooked us up with the blue darker permit. And Pat really ticked off 2 of very, very difficult hunts for his Tiny 10. And that wouldn't have happened if the pre-season work didn't go in, if the pre-contacts didn't go in, phoning around, getting certain guys' numbers, understanding different situations, permits, all that sort of stuff. And that only happens by just making contact. Don't do it on Facebook. Don't do it on Instagram. Go out there, meet with the farmers. Go. One of the big draw cards that I did was going to bull sales, cattle sales, sheep sales, those sort of stuff. And I learned a lot. I met a lot of farmers, and I had a good time doing it. And that's one of the things that is so important, is that show your true colors when you're out there. Really just put on a show, just let the guys understand that you're there for business, that you're there, that you want to do, and secure it, because a lot of guys are going to be chasing it, and that's without a doubt. So make the contacts. That's what it's all about. Make the contacts, because I promise you now, your season for the future is just going to be so much easier. Next up, of course, sometimes I feel like I put in all this hard work for nothing, but it's all part and parcel of the game. And that is off-season fitness. It's something that boils back down from my rugby playing days, and I'll never forget. I was hunting with Jared, and we went after Barbara sheep, and it was so rewarding being able to keep up to the standards that I set myself, because I was fit, and because I put in the extra work in the off season, and I just maintained it during the season. I think this is important because, like I said, when people are coming out here to spend money with you, they're coming out here to spend a lot of money with you all the time, and you need to show them some sort of respect by being fit, being able to keep up with animals, being able to keep, I did a buffalo hunt this year. We shot 2 buff in 7 days, Frank and Ramon. Incredible hunt, something I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. Father and son came out, which firstly is already special. And those of you that know my backstory will know that I'm incredibly passionate about hunting families and stuff. So we go out, first day, We scout out some couple of buff, but we land Ramon a massive Lechwe. I can't remember the measurements, but well over Roland War, gold medal, something very, very special. I knew that kicked it off. That set the tone for a really good safari. But the two of them were on a father and son package, 2 buffaloes, 7 days, and that's what they're mainly focused on. We spent a lot of time out in the veld, scouting certain buffalo, judging, from a distance. And I already knew that there was a certain herd that I wanted Ramon to hunt out of. Just purely, Frank unfortunately broke his leg before he came out here, but he did so well to get his buff. So Ramon, I think it was about the 3rd day, we get on in this beautiful buffalo bull, nice, big-bodied, dark, lots of hair, wide, hard boss bull, and for whatever reason, the bullet deflects in the air, and I don't know, still to this day, I don't know if it hit a twig, but there was nothing really around the area we were hunting, the shoulder area, and one of my first shots is straight into the shoulder. I want to put in as much impact into that shoulder as possible to try and halt him. And I knew, when I was looking through the binos, I knew that shot was a stray, and it just gave us a big flesh wound, about 4-inch flesh wound, and I knew something was up. Anyway, cut a long story short, day 5, this buffalo's still out there. We're picking him up every now and then, just not being able to get a shot in. And we bump them in the trees and they push out onto a ridge. And I knew running uphill they were going to have to stop again, turn and face us. We get into 50 yards of where I suspect they're going to stop. They stop, they look back at us. And I was in the right bull, Ramon wasn't. And thank goodness he didn't pull the trigger because it wasn't an ethical shot. And the buffalo set off. And now they're running across this one flat plan. And I remember saying to Ramon, just keep up with me. And we hit it along this plane. And it was really rewarding to understand that once I got to position where we can get a second shot in, that I was still good. And I think that's important because those clients have spent a lot of money. They're coming out here, they're hunting 2 buffalo, they're spending time away from their family, they've flown all this way, they want the experience, they want you to be on the top position. And if it wasn't for my fitness, I don't think I would have given them the next best thing. And yeah, we finally got that buffalo bull with 2 days to go of the safari, and it was literally 4-inch cut and probably about less than 1 inch deep in flesh. And it was just crazy how we picked them up and how we eventually got the shot in. I mean, we've pushed these buffalo for so long, for the last 4 or 5 days, and eventually, just out of pure desperation, I just stood in the middle of the flats against the tree, and they literally just came out, and we managed to pick one up. I said, Ramon, that's the one, put it on the shoulder, and the rest was history. And I was so fortunate to be a part of it. And like I said, I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for my fitness. And I feel very, very blessed to be able to share that, but share it in a way that I knew I did my best to provide them with an experience. So off-season fitness is not everyone's ideal, and I'm not meaning weight training, I'm meaning getting out there, walking, running, doing the miles, putting time on the feet. It's incredibly important to do that. And the benefits way outweigh anything else. And just keep that in the back of your mind every single day when you wake up after not drinking, whatever. Just get some time on the feet. It helps in the long run. Next up, and this is another important one, is equipment servicing, upgrading, maintenance, especially on your pickups, especially on your vehicles. Get out there, send them into the garage, upgrade your suspension or fix it, whatever the case, because the vehicles take a pounding during the season. Make sure your rifles are adequately cleaned, thoroughly cleaned, as well as your bows or whatever you may be using. Put new batteries into your rangefinders, clean your binoculars, spend a bit of time. If your pants are torn, make sure they get sewn up. Your bino harness, my bino harness has got to go in for a bit of touch-ups. Those sort of stuff, make sure that by the next season Your equipment is 100%. If you need new camos, head along to phtoolbox.co.za. We've got some incredible trees in camo there to share with you guys. But no, guys, all jokes aside, really, if you're needing new camos, if you're needing new outfit, remember, get out there, look apart. Just make sure that your professionalism takes you over the line at the end of the day, so that what first impressions, when those clients arrive on your front door, they look at you and they're like, wow, this guy's got his shit together. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. Remember, we're professionals out there, and that's what we need to act like. And you're not going to do that without correctly servicing, cleaning, or maintaining your gear that's carried you through the season. Planning the future. Now, this is an interesting one for me, because I feel it's a rut that is so deep in the professional hunting game that we struggle to get out of. And what does it mean? Are we just going to go through the motions again for next season? Just wait for us to get booked by outfitters and let the clients come in and just run through the motions? Or are we going to evolve? Are we going to evolve as professional hunters to make sure that there's things that are out there better for us? A lot of these things take a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of us that are afraid to do that hard work with a little reward. But it's something that I feel is missing, especially as far as the professional hunting game is concerned. I had an interesting conversation to a couple of clients that came out this year, and I just said to them, I said, I feel that the professional hunters of South Africa or Africa abroad are missing out on massive opportunities out there, and still doing what we want to do and still holding on to that core, which is hunting, but yet we still are missing out on so much that the industry has to offer, making a bit of extra money wherever we can, you know. And that's some of the reasons why I started the PH Toolbox program, with the professional hunting program, or the outdoors program, I should call it, because I want people to come onto my website, promote what they believe, a product that they believe in, and earn some commission while doing it, while they're out at the lodges, while they're there, hunting, doing what they love. Promote that, earn a bit of commission. It's an extra bit of income for you to get through the quiet periods that I'm talking about right now. And I've got a few plans in motion, and I'm hoping they pay off, because I think it will be a huge game changer as far as the professional hunting market is concerned. And one of them is approaching taxidermists to earn commission on mounts, going through there. Camos, everything. There's such a broad variety in South Africa that us professional hunters can earn a little bit of more extra money, because we are an important link in this whole industry, and without us, none of this would really happen. So that's what planning for the future means, is that are we putting most steps in motion to make sure that our lives better year after year after year? Do we better our profession year after year, or are we just going to go through the motions? And I think it's an important question as professional hunters need to ask one another. And I'm hoping one day that I get to create a platform that we can have these sort of discussions and just really sit down and brainstorm amongst us, because like I said, we're an incredibly important link to this massive picture that we're carrying at the moment. The industry, and what does next season hold for us? It's an interesting one, because I think I've got my blinkers on at the moment because I've had such a really, really good season, but I forget about the other guys out there that might have not been so lucky. And what does this mean? It means that our future is played by politics in the United States. It's played by politics in Britain. Are they going to allow the British to travel? Spain, I know, and other European countries have had huge difficulties getting out here. Sponsorship letters, work letters, and all that sort of stuff. So what does this hold for not only us as professional hunters, for the outfitters and the tourist industry as such. Is there going to be anything out there? I don't have the answers for that, but what I can say is that if it's anything to go by this last season, and I think we'll get a clearer picture once we're over in the States for the shows on how Biden and the whole American government administration is handling this whole thing would hold out. All I can say to you guys is, guys, appreciate what you've got right now on the table and treat it like it's going to be there forever. Treat it with respect, treat it with dignity. Go out there, like I said, put all those steps in place, scout, learn your animal behavior and all that sort of stuff, so that if next year is the bumper year you're looking for, you're so over prepared that when those guys arrive, they want to come back the very next year. And that's my point out of this whole thing I would like to get out there to you guys. It's important. It really, really is important that we hold our own against these sort of things. But at the same time, take a step back, appreciate what we've been given now, and let's take the next step when we play the next cards when they get dealt. So yeah, I think I'll have to do another podcast on this when I get back from the shows to really tell you guys what next season will have in store for us and what the industry has to hold for us. And it's an important question because I think as from an outfitter's perspective, I think the whole game industry is on the top of its head at the moment. I mean, prices, as far as pricing and people cutting pricing, so show specials, Black Friday, all that sort of stuff coming up now. So right now it's not a really great answer, but it's an important one, and I think I'll have to answer that early into next year. My future plans, as I sit here and I speak to you guys, of course, is to focus a lot more on my online shop as well as my podcasting. My whole plan about the podcasting is, there's no money in this or anything like that. It's just purely to share my passion with the rest of the world across as many platforms as possible, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, podcasting, YouTube. It's just to share my passion, my love for what I do. And I love animals, and I think, like I said, and I keep saying this, I think that hunting is the best form of conservation we have to look after and preserve these wonderful animals we've got here across the world, whether it be Russia, America. I really do, and I think as hunters, we need to start respecting one another more, and this animosity amongst one another, whether it be bow hunters against rifle, black powder, whatever. We need to start coming together, standing together against these people that are trying to take what we all believe in away from us. And I think that for my future plans coming up into next season, that's what I really want to focus hard on, is trying to get a lot more ground coverage across the board, and as well as just try and hunt as much as possible. I've joined the Magnum Archery team. I'm feeling really, really good. I've been shooting my bow this afternoon. I'm excited to get back out there and do a proper hunt and really start filming the backstories of a professional hunter. And I've got a good couple of guys teamed up with as far as video camera work's concerned and all of that. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I can't wait to share some incredible footage with you guys in the future. Guys, well, that's pretty much the podcast in a nutshell. In closing, as a professional hunter, a young professional hunter, if you've had fun this season, keep doing it, guys. We need more of you guys out there that are in it for the right reasons. If you didn't have fun, it's never too late just to call it a day and just say, I'm a social hunter, I like hunting every now and then, because this, as a professional hunter to another professional hunter, you play an incredibly important role in this industry. And I would hate to see that go away. I really would. I think we need to respect one another, and if you've done your professional hunting course and you think this is not quite for you, just walk away and no one will judge. Because if you're going to do it and mess it up for the rest of us, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow in the long run. But we'll always respect the guys that have come out here and given it a shot and just realized it's not for them. I would like guys to really understand that these podcasts are just out of love for the industry and really just trying to help young individuals. I'm not there to fling advice around because I think I know everything. That's not my case at all. I've been a professional hunter now for 11 years, going on to 12, and I love what I do, and I think I've learned enough from really, really good PHs out there to share that knowledge on with you guys, and that's my goal at the end of it, you know. And yeah, just having fun doing it, guys. Just really am having fun doing it, and I can't wait to share more stories with you, and I can't wait to have more guests on the podcast and all of that, but only with time. Well, guys, once again, thank you so much for everybody that's tuning into today's episode. I had so much fun doing it. I hope it helps. I really do. Like I said, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications to find out when our next shows are coming out. I'm hoping to launch a couple of YouTube videos coming up in the next coming weeks. I'm getting really excited about that. And I shouldn't be giving out too many spoilers, but yeah, excited about that. And yeah, of course, going into next season, hopefully I can get to this week. I'll post a couple of booth numbers where I will be. I'll be handing out PH Journals hats. So if you are in the area, please head along to the booth. Come and ask a couple of questions. And yeah, I'll be there to answer as many as I possibly can and answer them to the best of my ability. I sound like a speech I'm giving to my teacher right now. But guys, yeah, just thanks to everybody that's supported me thus far. I'm ready for next season, and I can't wait to share the rest of it with you guys. I'll start hunting the next 2 weeks, so hopefully I get to share a couple of more pictures with you guys and stuff. Well, until then, happy hunting, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay humble. Catch up with you guys soon. Cheers.